It was full.
And good evening, it's Raconteurs Extra, Raconteurs After Dark, with me, Jason, Holmes, and my old mate Adie as well. We've invited Webby on, but Webby's a little bit tied up at the moment, so I don't think he'll be on tonight, but he'll be back pretty soon. We're doing this After Dark thing. We've started doing it on a Friday night. And so far it seems to be received quite well. I've got my mate Adie with me. Adie, how you doing, mate? How's your day been?
Yeah, listen, I'm good, mate. I'm halfway through one of them, and things are looking good.
Awesome, mate. Well, listen, let's just see who's in chat room, who's joining us on this Saturday night. Touch of someone wanker, Webby in the gimp suit. There's lots of stuff. Newbie is Ace. Super Leeds is in there. Got Super Leeds. It's the big.
Whoa! Stop! I've got to mention something.
Go on.
Leeds and Wednesday tomorrow. Listen, I'm not a football fan, but even I know there's something fucking going on tomorrow, and we have to get rid of the elephant in the room.
Yeah, that's right. And to be fair, I don't really give a fuck whether I want us to win, obviously, because I want my team to win every single game. And if that aids Sheffield United, then so be it. I don't care, whatever I'm not really interested in what's going on with them. I'm just interested in my own team. So I'd like them to beat. I'd prefer Leeds to go up than Sheffield United, but that's just like it's only by a very, very slim, wafer thin margin that probably I'd opt for Leeds, but it's not big enough for me to want my team to lose so that United can't go up, because that's ridiculous. But good luck to you, Leeds, tomorrow night. Tomorrow after evening, whatever it is, I think it's about 5:15 kickoff. I'll be watching it, and I know you will be as well. So we'll still be friends afterwards. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and people who say it's only a game, there's no such word as only.
Well, I think there is, because I've got a fucking dictionary and it's in it.
You see, my view of football grounds is you should just fucking bomb a lot of them and turn them all into ice rinks and play a proper game on them.
Right. So what you're advocating is skidding.
Yeah,
which is a game that's skidding, that is based upon the principles of football, which is to move an object between into the goal area. It's based upon football, and you want to bomb all the football. The inspiration for that you proclaim to so love. You want to bomb the inspiration to that. That's just a ridiculous thing to say, Ada. And
no.
If that woman behind you, if she comes to life, that thing that she's got in her hand, she's going to smash it on the top of your head.
I love violence.
Well, you see, I was sort of thinking on, the Take on Me, with the cartoon thing. I would that coming to life from behind you, and just smashing it over the top of your head, or either that or leading you into the bedroom. In which case, I'd have to just probably wrap up this little broadcast that we're doing here.
Like I said, I love violence.
So, Adie, anyway, you said earlier on you got a bit of a rant to go on. So go on.
I've had 3 people this week ring me. All very, very well-meaning people. One of them, my son, and now don't forget, my son's had first-hand experience of this, and all based on not exactly the same scenario, but all the sort of same thing. What do you do if one of these debt collectors comes to your house? Listen, this is so simple. If I lend my lawnmower to Jason, and then I send my mate Dave round to Jason's house to get my lawnmower back, What does Jason say to Dave? Jason says, fuck off. Dave, it's not your lawnmower. It belongs to Aid. Now, if somebody says, and it doesn't matter whether it's fucking the gas, the electric, BT, a car company, the council because you haven't paid a fucking parking ticket, it doesn't matter what it is. Does not matter. If the man knocking on your door does not hold a contract with your name on it, he is a third-party interloper, which simply means he's like Dave. He's sticking his fucking nose in where it's not needed. And all you simply say is, you are trespassing. And when he says, no, I'm not, you say, okay, now it's aggravated trespass. And when he says, no, it isn't, now you say, it's criminal trespass, and I am going to arrest you. And I will use all force necessary. And it really is that simple. If it's not yours, it's not yours. And if it's not his, it's not his. Because it's dead simple. If you've got a contract with the guy who's knocking on your door, so if British Gas knock on your door and say, hello, you owe me £94, well, you might do, so talk to them. Don't refuse to pay anybody. Just ask them to prove it. But if somebody who's just some third-party dickhead who happens to drive a little white van with his mate who's equally as bald, who's equally as fat, and who's equally as dressed in black, it's dead simple. You are now trespassing. Fuck off. It's that. And honestly, just think of the lawnmower. I lend my lawnmower to Jason, and my mate Dave goes to collect it. You tell Dave to fuck off. It's that simple. And the other one is, if it's not yours, you don't pay it. I had one this week. Girl rings me. Boyfriend's in prison. And people have been around to collect this debt. What do? You fucking send him to his house. Well, he's in prison. Well, what's that got to do with you? It's not yours. If it's not got your name on it, it's not your debt. And it really is that simple. Things only get complicated for somebody else's benefit, not your benefit. If it's simple, it's easier to understand, it's common sense, it's common law. Common law says, if it's got your name on it, it's yours. If it hasn't, it fucking isn't. So fuck it off. Don't be intimidated. It's dead easy. That's my rant.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, just don't even engage with him. That's probably. But again, you've got to know what your rights are. I've got on my YouTube channel on Alter Edge Media, the one that I use for my own personal stuff. On there, I've got I phoned Lowell up after they text me, and I put this on years ago. It must be 5 years ago, and then recently I've noticed. I thought I kept getting these messages, these things saying, you know, you're getting the someone's so and so's commented on this and other, and I had a look. Anyway, I've got, I think, something like 114,000 views on it, and it's me talking to Lowell and me saying, well, hang on, this is statute barred, and she's going, yes. And I said, okay, so you can't take me to court now? And she's going, no, we can't take you to court. And I says, well, so what will happen? She said, it'll be escalated. And I said, well, what's that? And she said, well, there'll be calls and letters. And I said, so you're expecting me to be afraid of my phone and a piece of paper that comes through my door? You know, there's nothing you can do. Why don't you just give up? It's basically a begging letter that you've sent me. Yeah. And it's just literally, I did it about 5 years ago, and literally it's just exploded, and well, exploded in terms of videos that I've ever put up, and it's got something like 115,000 views or something on it, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah,
sorry, mate, go on.
well, listen, you know that we ran right now. I just want to mention something. Just from us here at Raconteurs News, we were very sorry to hear about the death of Robert Greene, who died, I think, yesterday. Robert Greene, who was a campaigner, the Holly Gregg campaign, most prominent Holly Gregg campaigner. He served time in prison for that cause, and he did. It doesn't matter what you think of the Holly Gregg campaign or what you think about all that, but you know, this guy, he did stand where he said he were going to stand, and he stood there, and he went to prison and all sorts of things. So he's going to be greatly missed, and I really echo a lot of the things that people in independent media have been saying about him. Robert Greene, who died yesterday. I don't know if you knew about that, Adie.
Do you know, I didn't. And actually, it's a long time since I heard his name and Holly Gregg's. And if anybody's not aware of it, but boy, you should be. The man just... What I liked about him was he stood his ground because he knew his position was correct, morally and legally and lawfully. And to stand there with literally waiting to be kicked down and being kicked down and still getting back up again and going to prison and getting back up again and still carrying on and saying the same things because he knew it was right and it was moral and it was the correct thing to do. Not for him, but for somebody else. You know, and how can you not be blown away by that?
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to dwell on that. I mean, we paid our tribute to Robert Greene, and yeah, I don't want to dwell on that because, you know, the light-heartedness of this show that we do on a Friday night, you know, this after dark thing. So I don't want to dwell on it. I want to sort of put a wrap under that. I mean, we're all going to miss Robert. The world's going to miss Robert Greene, for God's sake. Victims everywhere are going to miss Robert Greene. But let's also, I wanted to ask you, what did you make of what's been going on with Assange?
Oh, do you know, politically, I mean, what's he been there now? 7, 8 years? Got to be on it. Got to be 7 or 8 years. With the legal stuff, you've got to be asking yourself, even if invited, what is the legal position of the British authorities entering such a building, even if they are invited? And how does all that? I think it's a bit of a political and legal mess. We've certainly not heard the last of it. And I certainly don't think it's not going to be without heads that are going to roll. Let's put it that way.
Do you think so? I mean, I think it's probably. I think it's a bit of another scene in the show, if you know what I mean. The show that is mainstream media. I think it's probably somewhat like that. I don't. I'm not really. I don't know what to make of Julian Assange. I've not really followed. I've followed obviously WikiLeaks and that sort of thing, but I mean, for him to be in that embassy for however, what is it, nearly 10 years he's been in there. Well, at least it's over 5 years anyway, so it's 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. So he's been in there all that time. And the way that he was dragged out, and the way that you would have thought they would have took him out at back way, rather than dragging him out. And people will go, oh well, yeah, but that's just to show people that, you know, if you say something, then, you know, that if you're a whistleblower, they're making an example of him. But are they making an example of him because that's part of the stage show? Because I would have thought if they were going to go in, it would have been quiet. We would have found out that he'd been taken to a police station. You know, afterwards, after it all happened, it wouldn't have been so public. I don't think, and that for me raises a flag. And people, and I know people in the people will say, well, you know, it was designed so that it sent a message to other whistleblowers, but. I mean, come on, who? To who? It was designed to send a message to who? It don't really make much sense.
The thing is, most whistleblowers have lost everything. So what is there left to lose? So I don't think it's a lesson. I think you're more. It's more the sort of mainstream media circus. I think this thing might play out a little bit, but where it'll go, I don't really know. But taking it on face value, you've got to ask yourself, politically and legally, where do the people who actually walked in the building stand, even if invited? Where do they legally? But
I think
it's not what it appears to be. So there is no logical or legal answer to that.
So someone's made a point that it was the staff that escorted him out. It wasn't the police. It was a staff from inside the embassy that escorted him out.
Yeah.
And somebody also made the point that the who was it? I thought this was brilliant. I thought this was Cecil said. I think his beard was inspirational, and you know that again we're talking about.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen this before, haven't we? We beards and things. We have, though, haven't we? I mean,
you're thinking of Tony, aren't you? Come on.
I'm thinking of Tony, and I'm thinking of Muad'Dib, and we've seen all this beard stuff going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to proclaim. I'll talk to anybody. We've had Tony on this show. I speak to Tony. I speak to Tony regularly. He don't want to do anything publicly at the moment because I don't know. He's channeling some angels down to. I don't know what he's doing, but he don't want to come on. But I do speak to him quite regularly, and I'll speak to anybody. I'll speak, and I won't ridicule anybody for what they believe in or what they're saying they believe in, because sometimes people will say something and they don't really believe in it.
Oh yeah.
I look at politicians for a fucking start. They just go, well, hang on a minute. You know, it's when people say, oh, well, that's a conspiracy theory, and say, well, all right then, yeah, it is a conspiracy theory, and you know what? I've got another conspiracy theory, right? We voted to leave the EU, and now there are MPs conspiring to keep us in the EU and undermine democracy.
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy theory. Now, how much volition would you give to that? And would you just stick that under the rug? You know, it's fucking, the people are just fucking so fucking stupid.
I think it might have been this morning. It was on some news bollocks, and they asked Trump what he thought about something, and I can't even remember what it was, because one, I'm pissed, and two, is that fucking uneventful. And he said, oh, well, that's my I don't deal with that, with the WikiLeaks thing. It was the Assange thing. And he said, that's my chief of staff, and I'm sure he's doing a really good job because he's a good guy. You know, they just mention somebody's name and automatically it's, oh, and he'll be doing such a good job. No, he won't. He'll be a fucking yes sir, no sir, three bags full, sir, because that's what he's fucking paid to do.
But Trump's a salesman. That's what Trump is.
Of course he is.
He's a salesman. He's a snake oil. Well, I don't know whether it's snake oil or what. I don't know what the fuck it is he's selling. But he's a salesman, and he's a fucking good salesman. because he managed to become president of the United States by selling himself. He sold on people what he was going to do. And whether he's done it or not, I don't really fucking know. I to be fair, I don't live in America, so it don't really fucking matter to me what iota. But what he did is he sold an idea. He sold an idea to the American people. And if you look at what's going on at the moment, it's almost as it's like the twist in the movie that you watch, and you're sat and you're watching it for like 2.5 hours, and then there's a twist at the end. But you see, this is a never-ending movie, so the twists are never at the end; they're always in the middle. And the twist was that Trump got elected, and then there were another twist that we voted to leave the EU. Again, these are all things that this were, if we had anything about us, we'd have been down there and ragged them fuckers out. We would have ragged them.
You know, when people talk to me about democracy, I just say, well, hang on a minute. Forget history, apart from the last 300 years, and just look and tell me how that's gone. And they go, well, what do you mean? And then you think, well, when was the last time that a newly elected party got, I don't know, let's say the Conservative Party now, when was the last time that they got a law that Labour had voted in last time and got rid of it? When was the last time that happened? I'll tell you when. Never. So if all these things that are so bad that one party argues against the other, well, it's bollocks. They might all wear a different coloured tie, but they're all just fucking lefties. They all read the fucking Guardian. That's what they are. They're all fucking lefties. But what they do, they label each other as right-wing nationalists. Fucking, oh my God, you're just so right-wing. You're all Nazis. And you're just like, what the fuck? And that's all they do. They just fucking throw names at each other. But it's just all bollocks because they don't even fucking run the show. Trump's a puppet. Angela Merkel's a puppet. She's not even a fucking elected one, but she's a puppet. And Theresa May, puppet. They're all just fucking puppets because it's the banks that fucking run it all. And all this shit that you see on the telly is just shit. It's just shit. It's what it is. It's just there to keep you confused.
We live in a dictatorship, don't we?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And if anybody doesn't think that we do, you try post something on YouTube with, and I don't mean a sentence, single words, right? You try the odd single word, and probably 10 that you can say in 5 seconds. Put them up on YouTube, put that in the title, and see how long it lasts. And then you tell me that we do not live in, well, you try and convince me that we live in free speech democracy, because I'm telling you we don't. You cannot even put a man's pseudonym, not even his real name, a man's pseudonym in the title of a YouTube video without it'll get taken down. That's not free speech. That's not democracy. It's a police state. Because that's what we live in.
Oh God, it'd be so depressing, if I give a fuck. I mean,
exactly.
It would.
See,
if I give a fuck.
You make a brilliant point, because these 3 people that have spoke to me this week. One was about a telly license. What the fucking hell do you want one of them things for? But what do I do? Well, this woman come to my house and she asked if she could come in, so I let her in, and she flicked through all my telly channels, and then they took me to court, but I didn't go, and then they sent me a letter, and I've ended up with this fine for 480 quid. What shall I do? Adrian, can you get me out of paying this bill? No, stick your head between your eyes and pay your fucking bill, because you shouldn't have been so stupid as to let them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to let anybody in. Lose the fear. Lose the fear. Once you learn to lose the fear and realize that money isn't money, it's just a fucking farce. Everything that you see on the telly, including the news, is just a soap opera. Nobody really has got power over you. unless you give it to them by voting, which is a fucking dumbass thing to do. Why would you give that away? Just lose the fear, because once you learn to not give a fuck, life gets so much calmer. Honestly, really.
And then you see what happens then is you get into this situation whereas, like you said, life gets so much calmer. I couldn't give a fuck. I could not give a fuck. Fucking hell. I've laid there awake while they fucking chopped my leg off. What else? Who's going to do out worse to me than that? You know what I mean? There's nothing fucking worse that could happen to me. So what the fuck are you going to do? But I tell you what, it also works in reverse, because you know when you do that and you don't give a fuck and you don't engage with it and you just sat there. But you know what happened yesterday? Yesterday, they were, because we've got local elections coming up, there were Labour canvassers knocking about. And they were knocking about and knocking on doors, these Labour canvassers. They were canvassing for Labour. And I'm thinking, I'm saying to Danielle, oh, fucking hell. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel knock on door. Oh, God. Oh, fucking, did they fuck knock on my fucking door? So it got to a point where I'm opening the door and I'm going, no, why are you coming knocking on my door? You've knocked on everyone else's door. Come and knock on my door. I'll tell you what I fucking think.
I know, I get that. I've got me removal of implied rights of access thing on the door. I've also got another one which says named and addressed mail only. A charge of £250 will be made for each violation, no exceptions. So I don't get any mail. I don't get any charity bags. It's like I don't live here. It's brilliant, honestly. No, once you lose the fear, nobody bothers you. Honestly, just lose the fear. But I mean, I don't get any religious. I nearly said Jovies, and I don't get any religious groups knocking on my door. I don't get any charity bags. I don't get anything. I don't get any political shit going on, because they know that they can tell. They've only got to look at the bloody front door and see the removal, and they just don't bother. But as you say, Jason, sometimes it takes away the highlight of your day, because you think, I'd love somebody to knock on my door, because when they do, I can have a really good debate with them, because they're obviously intelligent. Otherwise, they won't be knocking on my door. And then they just walk past the end of your road, and it really pisses you off, doesn't it?
Well, I've not got a removal of implied rights of access on my window anymore. I had one a few years ago, but I've not even needed it recently. But when I did have one, I got these Mormons knock on door. We've got Mormons down road, and we've got these Mormons knock on door, and I was bored. So I said, yeah, come on, let's have a listen. And they showed me this video. In fact, it were a DVD. That's how long ago it were. And then they said to me, like, we before we show you this video, we're going to pray. Would you like to come and pray with us? And I went, I'm not bothered. And so they fucking did the praying and that, and then they showed me this video, and then I showed them door. And I felt like they got further than they were going to get. They probably were thinking, well, next time we might get this guy, get the guy, get the next guy. So we've gone up and we've got in house, and we've knelt down in front of his telly and prayed before we've put a DVD on, and then we've watched DVD and he's kicked us out. But at least we've got through DVD. It's progress, isn't it? So yeah, I like to help my fellow human beings, even Mormons.
Do you know? I always remember my ex-wife, who's the mother of my kids, and we didn't get on, and we split and everything, but we get on great. Now, I always remember her telling me that when she was the youngest of about 10 or 11 kids. And I always remember she used to walk miles to push her mum in a wheelchair to a Mormon church. Sorry, Latter-day Saints church. Now, this included quite a steep hill. And if anybody knows Scunthorpe, Burringham Road, it really, let's put it this way. When we were kids, we used to sledging down Burringham Park because it really was a decent hill for, and she used to push her mum down this hill. Now, going back home,
nobody in Scunthorpe's got internet.
That's right. Now, she used to push her mum when she was like 10 or 11 years old in a wheelchair down to the church and then push her back up the hill. And all the church people used to drive past in the car.
And your point is, they shouldn't have.
Well, if they were really loving and caring people who really, really wanted her to be there, would they have driven past? No. Because any right-minded human being, religious or not, would have put her in the car and took her home and would have picked her up. Now, if I was a member of a Domino's club and I'd got a car and there was a guy who hadn't got a car, in a wheelchair or not, I'd go pick him up because it's the human thing to do.
That's if you knew that he needed a lift.
Yeah.
That's only if you knew that he needed a lift. You don't just go like, is there anybody in this club who's in a wheelchair that needs a lift? If you knew that he needed a lift and you were a friend of yours, then yeah, maybe.
But I'm talking week after week after week after week. She used to push her mum up and down this hill to take her mum to church.
Well, probably they thought that God were teaching her something.
Yeah, gravity. Now there's a theory.
The righteousness of breathlessness.
Yeah, there we go. You never know.
Breathlessness is next to godliness. That'll be the new thing.
Clearly, brother.
Hey, dear me. Let's see who's in chat room. Good evening to Nick UK, James Owen, Cecil is in there, or Cecil. Kevin Street, hello there, Kevin Street. James Owen, New Being as well. Good evening, New Being over there in Sweden. Nice to see that you have not seen. We did see you this week, so nice to see you on Friday nights. That you've got note to do, like rest on us. Tony's in there as well. Dot Super Leads. Vicky Cook as well. Stewie. We'll just call you Stewie. He's in there as well. So good evening to everybody who's in the chat room. It is Raconteurs After Dark. And James Harrow as well. And Donna Caddy and saying hello. Good evening. And yeah,
I have got one special hello. Because I'll play this back to my grandson. One of my grandsons is 4 years old. The other week, I promised to take him to see some alpacas at the alpaca show down in Telford, which is about an hour and a half down the road from where we are. Anyway,
rest.
Well, an hour and 3/4.
It's a great shit all to get to, mate.
Anyway, I promised to take him, but he happened to be on holiday with my ex-wife, his nanan. I mean, we've been divorced 20 years, man. But, he was on holiday in Portugal with his nanan. But I promised to take him to go see the alpacas. So anyway, he comes back off holiday and he's been telling all his friends that his granddad's been promising to take him to go see some woodpeckers. So I just want to say thanks to Tom for allowing us to go and visit his alpacas, or woodpeckers as my 4-year-old grandson calls them, and his ducks and his chickens the other day. Thank you very much, mate. You're a gentleman.
Is he going to be listening?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, if he's listening, okay. I was just about to say, because if he's not, that's just a complete waste of time.
No, he will. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Alpacas. Good old alpacas.
Alpaca.
Our lass always likes them. She watches them on that Yorkshire Vet thing that comes on, and there's always alpacas, and they're right nosy little cunts. They're always got their heads on.
They're ace.
Yeah. Really decent decent fun.
Listen, one thing I want to get over tonight is dead simple. If it's not yours, don't pay it. And if the person knocking on your door asking you for money you haven't got a contract with, don't pay it. Two simple lessons. If it ain't yours, don't pay it. And if it is, don't pay it. Don't use it to get out of something that you should pay. Do it the honourable way. Because if you remain in honour and they're not, they're the one in the wrong.
Well, yeah.
It's dead simple. Honestly, it really is. Really, really is. TV license, that was the other one I was going to do. Listen,
Go on, then.
Telly license. Life is all about contracts. Seriously, it really is. Now, you can go on the website of TV licensing and you can go on and tick all the boxes and say, I don't watch this, I don't watch that, I don't watch the other, I don't need a TV license, and yes, in 2 years you can contact me and ask me again. But to me, that is you contracting with them and running by their rules, which seems a bit counterproductive to me. The easy way to do it is you just write to them and say, this address does not require a TV license. That's it. One line in a letter, off you fuck, go away.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did.
Yeah, I never get any bother off.
We don't require a TV license. They said they'd be in touch with you in 2 years, and I think it's been about 5 or 6. But I think we're on that sort of list where they just don't even bother with us anymore.
And I think that's the thing. Once you lose the fear that somebody might knock on your door, and just being able to say to them, "Who are you? What do you want? You're trespassing. Fuck off." Don't. An Englishman's home is his castle. It really is. It really, really is. So if it's not yours, if it ain't got your name, I had a phone call today saying that there's this debt that's popped up from years ago, but the name's spelt wrong. Now, I'm not advocating that somebody borrow. My whole thing with this is being honourable. So you don't go to the bank and ask them for 50 grand, knowing that you're never going to pay it back. Because whether you believe that money's not real or money is real or it's not the honourable thing to do. My view is remain in honour and, the karma will come back nicely. Just remain in honour. You don't go borrowing shit that you're never going to pay back. But if somebody wants you to repay something that's not yours, fuck off. It's not mine. Fuck it off. It's not about what can you get away with. It's about how can you, and this was yours, Jason, how can you work out how not to be raped? That's what it's about. And it's dead simple. If it's not yours and it ain't got your name on it, you don't pay it. And if the guy knocking on your door hasn't got a contract with you, you don't pay him. If somebody claims that you owe them money, simply ask them to prove it. And when they can't, fuck them off. It's pretty simple. Lose
simple
the
as, mate. Simple as. But I mean, we've been at this for years, haven't we? I mean, let's just go back to when we used to do Friends of UK column.
Yeah.
We started off with 4 of us sat in a pub and ended up with 30 people in a 30, 35, 40 people in a venue with a big screen and, doing all that stuff. This is stuff that you can do, isn't it? It's real stuff that you can do. I mean, we had no. Well, all we went on were what we could blag out of people, weren't it? And we got a really nice venue, big screens and things like that. And we did stuff like audience with UK column and things like that. And but again, it's knowing It's all about knowing what's real and what's not real, and the longer that you're doing this, and the longer that you're in this, you can spot something that's not real.
Yeah.
Whereas in the short term, you'll probably see somebody who's spouting stuff off that's similar to what you're thinking, and you might follow them. But when you've had longer in it, you'll be able to see who are the deceivers, who are the ones that want to have who want to make a name for themselves, who want to have notoriety. And
I think what Jason's in a roundabout way saying, but doesn't want to say, is that Johnny Bravo was a cunt. But I have to say, Jason, your radar for bullshitters and for people who are not in this for the right reason is fucking extraordinary. A couple of times I've said to Jason, oh, look, this guy's got it sussed. He knows what he's on about. And you've gone, don't know. There's something about him. And a week, a month, a year, or 2 years later, he's been absolutely fucking bang on. Your bullshit radar is fucking absolutely tuned in.
Oh yeah, I mean, it were clear with Bravo. I mean, even from fucking day one, it were, all this shit. It were all lined up. It were all ready, right, to try to drag us into the old. I mean, his missus were all right. Feminism and all this sort of shit, and she were. I had a couple of arguments with her. I actually had a couple of arguments. I didn't like the cunt from the start. I didn't like John Bravo from the start. I didn't like him. Really didn't like him, and he was sent to disrupt us. If you remember,
yeah.
remember when we were on his way out, and we got this venue which was in a casino, so it was a lovely plush venue. We got a use of a huge screen that we could use, that we could put things on. I mean, we had unlawful killing there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We were showing of unlawful killing there. and we had this venue that were just awesome, and things were just going. We'd gone from 4 of us sat in a pub to like 30 or 40 people turning up. Then this cunt turns up, this fucking John Bravo, and he just fucked it up for us. What he were doing, what they did is this casino, it had a multi-story car park above it, and if you parked in it, when you left the casino, you could go and get your parking ticket validated, and it'd be free parking, right? And they agreed that they would do that for all the people that came to our thing, but you had to go down onto the casino floor, which meant you had to give your name to the people, at the reception. And when they asked him his name, he says, I don't have a name. And he kicked up such a fucking fuss and a stink because he couldn't give his name. He couldn't even say John Bravo. He couldn't do anything. He just had to go, I haven't got a name. I don't have a name. I'm not this, I'm not that, I won't be. And he caused such a stink that they said to us, we just can't be asked for this anymore. We're not making no money out of this.
He's a dickhead.
They were selling a few drinks and that, and they said, look, in future you're going to have to, we're going to have to charge you for a room. I think it was about 150 quid, weren't it?
Yeah, something like that. We managed to blag it.
We weren't doing it. We weren't making any money. We weren't. Nobody were charged. Everyone came in for free. We're all put on for free. And he fucked that up, the cunt. And I knew that he were a cunt. Then we moved to another venue, and I remember we had Tony Farrell. Tony Farrell came along to that, and I videoed Tony Farrell talking. And then that was when it was just after that John Bravo then started having a proper go at Tony Farrell, didn't he?
Oh, I can remember when there was almost a stand-up bloody row. And I can remember thinking, fucking hell, Jason were right, this guy's a dickhead. Because, listen, at the end of the day, all we want is to be treated fairly, because none of us are. And it doesn't matter whether you're looking at a mortgage, a bank account, how much tax you pay, who's knocking on your door, who's claiming you owe them money, TV license. It doesn't matter. None of us are being treated fairly. And surely we're all in this together. But like you say, he was sent as he was a disruptor. And I actually remember one night we had a meeting and there was probably 20 odd people in the room, 30 people, whatever. And I said, if there are any government agents in the room, would you please stand up and make yourselves known to us now? And he fucking stood up.
He did. He did, didn't he?
He stood up straight in front of me and laughed.
I remember that. I actually remember that, yeah. I do. And it because I'd been saying it to you before, hadn't I?
Yeah.
And then
I just stood up and went, fuck this, I'm just going to fucking say this. And I stood up and said it. And he did. He fucking stood up. And I thought, you little bollocks.
Yeah. And of course, he were friends with fucking what's his face, Sean Maguire, who's on People's Internet Radio, and me and Sean Maguire had a set to. Well, we weren't really a set to it. We're just
no, Jason, it fucking was.
Well, it weren't really, were it? It was him saying something, me disagreeing with him, and him calling me a cunt, and then blocking me.
Yeah.
So just all through that, and then John Bravo tries to get back in with us and saying, "Oh well, Sean Maguire, I've just found out he's a right cunt. He's just been down at thing." Oh Jesus Christ! Just fucking off you, fucking dickheads. And the only reason I'm picking Sean Maguire up is because we had Anne-Marie Carey on last week. God bless her, Anne-Marie Carey, and she was on the Sean Maguire show the day after, and I was speaking to Anne-Marie, and I was wanting to give my thoughts on Sean Maguire, but I just decided not to. But anyway,
I think the thing is, you've got to live your own life, and you've got to find your own truth. And it doesn't matter who you. Just don't follow anybody. Just do not follow anybody. Fuck's sake, do not follow anybody.
Just apart from Raconteurs news.
Yeah. Look, don't follow me and don't follow Jason. Just the only thing I ever want to do is just prick somebody's conscience into thinking for yourself. That's it. Don't ever put my name or whatever on a t-shirt because I'm not fucking bothered. I'll tell you I'll tell you as a cracking example of this. Andrew K. Fletcher. He doesn't even have one advert on his website taking advantage of the natural footfall that he would just get just by being a website. He makes not one penny. He just puts up what he does about incline bed therapy because he hopes that it'll do somebody somewhere some good someday, sometime. Because he's a nice guy. That's it. And for everybody who wants followers and click on this and let me put this up because I'll get adverts on it and da-da-da-da-da, it's bollocks. It's bollocks. It's not about making anything. It's about giving something. It's about paying it forward. It's about helping people just because you can. That's what it's about.
Right, well, we're talking bollocks. It's Friday night, and there's quite a few of you watching, so thank you for watching, everybody. Do you want us to continue? If you want us to continue, I need a drink, so I'm going to put a record on. If you don't want us to continue, we can turn off. But, if you want us to carry on, then just let me know, and I'll just play a quick record while I go and replenish my my glass of goat's milk.
This bottle of goat's milk was full when I started.
What I'm going to say is it straight out of Lisa's bath.
I wish.
But that's sort of a bit of, it's a blast to the old days, isn't it? Shall we say?
I am going to tell everybody about when you vomited on my breakfast.
Go on then, you tell everybody.
It was in Stoke-on-Trent, and Jason and I had both been working in nightclubs till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, Jason picked me up in his Ford Escort, silver.
Ford Escort? We're in McGann, I think.
No, it were a Ford Escort.
It were a Focus. I had an Escort.
Were it a Focus? Oh, Focus, yeah. And we drove down to Stoke-on-Trent, and we got there about 9:10 in the morning.
Oh no, it was my Cortina.
Was it your Cortina? And it was the what was it? It was the was it the BCG? It was the British Constitutional Group meeting, and there was what, 300 people there, 400 people, something like that.
Yeah, man.
And Jason and I had arrived just in time to pay about 12 quid for a fucking hotel breakfast rather than grab a butty in a butty van on the way there. Because we were running late, because we'd both been working in nightclubs till about 4 in the morning. We both had about an hour's kip. And then Jason, like the trooper he is, had driven all the way down to Stoke-on-Trent, which I have to say, from Sheffield, is a fucking shithole to get to. Because you've got to drive too.
That's a shithole anyway, isn't it?
You've got to drive too far south to come back up again. But anyway, it's just the road network. But anyway, we arrive at this hotel, and we're both hungry, and we both need shitloads of coffee because we're fucked. And we both paid about 12 quid for this breakfast. It was just fucking ridiculous. So I've got a rate plateful. Bacon, eggs, tomatoes, sausages, black pudding, fried bread, 2 eggs on top. Fucking beautiful. Covered in brown sauce. And I'm there, and I've got me thingies tucked in here. And I'm just about to... And Jason took one mouthful of meat. Now, I never knew this, but... You what?
That sounds bad.
He took one mouthful of, I don't know whether it was sausage or bacon or what.
It sounds worse. So
and he's got this reflux thing that not very often, but sometimes makes him not vomit, but eject whatever's in his mouth in front of him. And basically, he puked on me fucking breakfast. And I just looked at it and thought, he's a bastard. He's fucking puked on me breakfast.
We'll never get past that, will we, Aid?
You what, mate?
We're going to get over that hour. I mean, how long?
No. Listen, there are not many people in this world that have ever puked on my breakfast. In fact, you're the only one. So what we did, cunning plan, we moved all the puked on breakfast, put it on a table where nobody was sat, so that when the woman came round and said, "Excuse me, do you know who's left this here?" We said, "Well, I don't know." They just kind of got the breakfast, but then got up and left. Because what did I do? I went back and I got a fresh plateful. That's what I did.
Happy days, mate. Happy days. Listen, I'm going to play a record. I'm going to get a drink, and we'll be back. Because I've looked in the chat room, and people say they want us to come back. So that's what we'll do. I mean, why not? I'm going to play a record, and then we'll be back with the second part. We've been on an hour now, actually, nearly. So second part of Raconteurs After Dark.
Play that funky music, white boy.
Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. And if you don't have no money, I got plenty of weed, man. You can come and get stoned with me. Every fucking day and every fucking night, I think about the world and how it's turned so shy.
Like Leeds United.
And I need some friends to moan with, so I can share my blues. Jason, Andy, Webby, and Aid on Raconteurs News. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. And if you don't have no money, you don't have to worry, 'cause I got plenty of weed, man. You can come and get stoned with me. Come on. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. Yeah, let's get really hammered. And if you don't have no money, you don't have to worry, 'cause I got plenty of weed, man. You can come and get stoned with me. You can come and get stoned with me. Nice, man. You can come and get stoned with me.
And welcome back to Raconteurs After Dark. Just me and Adie having just a bit of a drink. I've just got myself another drink. Get yourself on. I hope you did on during that song. Heath West there. Let's get stoned, 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 stoned again. I'm just going to tell you I'm still trying to secure a guest for Monday night show. Monday night is going to be me and Adie if he's there. I've got a couple in the pipeline. That's going to be we'll definitely have somebody on. But on Tuesday's show, we're going to have Max Egan. He's going to be joining us. Max Egan's going to be joining us on Tuesday's show. So
can I just say,
yeah,
I heard literally a 30-second clip of Max Egan talking about 5G the other day, and his explanation of what's planned, what's happening, what's actually evolving right now, and what's to come in just a 30-second statement was just the best I have ever heard. So if you've got Max Egan on Tuesday, mate, people have got to listen to that, because
well, you can come on and be on if you want.
Yeah.
No problem at all, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Max comes out with some incredibly thought-provoking stuff, but a lot of fact, and he's just got a way of putting things over that in some ways annoy the shit out of me, but in other ways I absolutely love. But there's one thing for sure: when you get Max Egan on, you're in for a night when not only are you getting how he feels about things, but he doesn't say anything unless he's got proof of it. It's not something he's assuming or guessing about. He's got proof of this.
Before we carry on, I just want to add this caveat. On Tuesday, Max, the show that we're having with Max is going to be on. It's going to be starting at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, it's going to be starting at 9 o'clock at night, because we've been talking about it. I've been discussing it with Max over the last couple of days, and he's happy to get up at 7 a.m., which is what it will be where he is at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. our time. So I don't want to push him to get up at 5 to come on at 7 till 9. So it will be a 9 o'clock start on Tuesday next week with Max Egan.
No, I think that's good, because I mean, I'd rather do things live anyway, because it is what it is. And what I do love about this platform is it's always from the heart. And that's a good thing about Max as well. It is always from his heart, and it's what he feels, it's what he believes in, and it's what I was going to say loves, but sometimes it's what he hates. And it's always fact-based, and he's always got things to back up what he's saying. He's just a good guy.
Yeah, well, it'll be on Tuesday night, so you can make your own minds up. We'll be talking about the things that have been going on post Christchurch, the stuff that Vinnie Eastwood's been going through. We had Vinnie Eastwood on the show a couple of weeks ago. You can look back through the archives and find that show. It were a really well, it was an intense show. It was. Sorry. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
ladles and jelly spoons.
We'll just carry on. Yeah. Listen, I love Vinnie Eastwood, but you know, when you've got when you're posting videos about some chemtrails above your house, and you think it's probably an attack on you personally, then you know, I just anyway. Let's not go down that road, shall we? Let's go down another road. Let's find another road. What other road can we find, Adie? What's going on? What's going on around you?
You see, the stuff that I see happening every day, mate, is it's all. You know, when I was always talking about how can we get people to realize what's going on in the world. You've got to start with something that affects them directly. And if there's one thing that does affect everybody directly, it's the police and the authorities, or the people who think they have authority.
That's the sound of the police.
And I'm not calling them all, because as anybody who's ever listened to this knows, my brother, who I've just had a text off actually, was a copper for 30 odd years, as is his wife. These people joined this organization and wore that uniform generally for all the best reasons, because they wanted to help each other, but ended up in a situation where they realized that that wasn't the case. That's not what they were doing, but still remained indoctrinated into the mental thinking of the system. If I try and explain any of this shit that we talk about to my brother, he'll laugh it off and tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist and I need a basket on my head, and just ridicule me. Yeah, you know, just a
tinfoil hat.
A tinfoil hat, you know, all the usual shit that we always get.
Well, they're indoctrinated with, yeah.
But even he would say that what he actually joined the police service for, which was to help protect and save people, he actually ended up not doing, especially in the latter years. He just ended up collecting revenue. But he won't step over that line and then realize all the stuff that you and I know. So it's all about perception. You know, we all think and we all reason and we all talk about the things that are directly affecting us personally, which is why I'm always saying to people, lose the fear. You know, good example, my ex-wife. Once I realized that she actually couldn't make my children not want to see me, the fear of what she might say to me disappeared. And then we got on much better. Even better than we did when we were married to each other, because the fear went and I just realized that there was nothing that she could take away from me. And once you lose all that shit, it doesn't matter what part of your life you're in, then it just all goes away. And once you realize that actually the police are just there to, you know, listen, if the guy's there to protect your family, protect you, he's your best friend. The minute he asks for your name and he wants a contract, he's a twat. And once you just learn that difference, life's great, you know? Because most of these people in the past joined that to do good things for people. But sadly, nowadays, that sort of job is attracting people who quite like the idea of being the little man in the uniform. You know, they're kind of... When I was at school, the guy who... You always knew which kid in your class was going to end up in prison. Now that same guy would end up being a police officer, which is quite sad, really. It really it is. It really is. Because if the police did what we'd want them to do, which is protect us and, you know, be the good guys, which is why most of them join in the first place. But sadly, that doesn't happen a lot of the time. It's just about collecting some of this money, 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 money.
Yeah, it's like that. When I were on bail for blackmailing David Beckham.
Baal.
Eh?
Don't forget, when you say Baal, it's Baal, which is one of the Greek gods, isn't it? Is it Greek?
Oh, anyway. No, we're in Greece or in Rotherham.
In Rotherham. Sorry, go on.
Well, when I were on bail, anyway, I was on bail, and it fucking went on for like, I think I was arrested in September and questioned, and then I was bailed, and I think it was fucking November. But it was November, I think it was about third month that I'd have to go and answer my bail. Did not charge me with out. They'd arrested me for blackmail and fucking all sorts of shit. And so, anyway, I get a phone call. I think it was in November, and I'm supposed to go and answer my bail for the third time. And I get a phone call from my solicitor, and he says, "Yeah, there's no charges, so you don't need to go and answer your bail." So I said, "Oh, right, cool, fine." So I didn't bother going and answering my bail. Anyway, a couple of hours later, I get a phone call, and it's the detective sergeant in charge of the case, a Detective Sergeant Steve Smith.
But they ring you up as if you fucking acknowledge their rank and how you need to put them on a pedestal and suck his knob just because he's some kind of fucking deity. Don't they? They just...
This is what he said, right? Listen, he was in charge of the investigation, and me and him had been at loggerheads throughout the whole thing. When I were in interview with him, when he were interviewing me, I was fucking just taking piss. I was literally just taking the piss out of him, right, for being short and being fucking stupid and being dumb, and you know, you'll never get out on me because there ain't no. This is a load of bollocks, and you know what I'm like, sarcastic and all that sort of shit. And just taking fucking piss. Anyway, he fucking rings me up and he goes, "Why ain't you answered your bail?" I said, "I don't need to." He says, "Why not?" I said, "Well, there's no charges." "How did you find that out?" I said, "Well, my solicitor told me there's no charges, so I'm not coming in." "Well, it's an offence to not come in to answer your bail." I said, "Don't give a fuck." And he says, "Well, just so that you know, it's not. It wasn't because there was no evidence. It was because it was deemed not in the public interest to charge you." I said, "All right, well, results still same. I'm not being charged, so
off you fuck."
Yeah, off you fuck. And I put phone down on him. Anyway, I thought to myself, that can't be. That's not right. So I wrote to CPS. And I wrote to him and I said, "Why was there no further action in this case?" And they wrote back to me and said, "There were no evidence." So then I went back to him and I went, "Excuse me." He says, "Here, look, I've got it here. CPS says it's no evidence. You told me it was because it were in public interest. You're lying. You were lying." And then I went to the I ended up at Chief Constable Med Hughes, and I was sat in front of him, and I produced so much evidence against him. I was asking him questions. This security company that made this accusation, have they anything to do with South Yorkshire Police? No, nothing whatsoever. Right, there you go. There's their webpage. it says that they train police officers in self-defense, and South Yorkshire Police is one of their companies. So there you go. I've got you there. And I just kept doing that over and over and over again. And you know, what all they ever do is they just clam up and they just stonewall you. They stonewall you. And I got these coppers, and you know what? I couldn't really give a fuck. I'm not fucking bothered about them. They're all going to hell. If there's a hell, they're going there, right? Especially that little fucking fucking. I think he was probably some sort of fucking pixie or something. Fucking Detective Sergeant Steve Smith. And do you know something else as well? He was in charge of that case. Now, there was subsequently a civil case between myself, the security company, and the Beckhams, and he was helping. He was trying to stitch me up on behalf of the Beckhams, and I'll tell you how I know, because I saw in the Rotherham Advertiser not long after that a kids' football team that he was coaching had been given a donation of loads of football kit, you know, goals and balls and all that sort of thing. And I thought to myself, there you go. That's what it's fucking all about. And that is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. It's all about fucking, you know, you know, you've got some cunt who's got fucking tons of money, and what you want to do is you want to get your little bit of that money, you know, so you do it, and you abuse your position. They came and raided my house on nothing. They came and kicked my fucking door in. And, you know, I had a great big massive fucking shit with two coppers stood there like that. I says, you know, when they arrested me, I says, I need to go for a shit. No, you can't. I says, I am. I said, I'm either having a shit here or I'm shitting it back in your fucking car when you're taking me to the police station. And so they put two police officers, one stood there and one stood there while I had a shit. One were a fucking woman. And it was the smelliest fucking shit that I have ever done. And I love doing that. That were fucking great because they're all wankers. And all they ever fucking do is they back their own, and if they see something, you know, I got fucking people, I got CID blokes, and there were tons of people in the house, and they were all like, I could hear them talking to each other and saying, oh, when we heard the name Beckham and Dinnington, we thought, oh, we couldn't believe it, so we had to come and all this sort of shit. So it's just like a farce. They're all fucking wankers.
Well, what I'm going to do, Jason, you know, one night when we've not got a guest on Raconteurs, I'm just going to spring it on you. I'm going to say, right, tell us from the beginning, and I'm going to get you to tell us the Beckham story. I mean, I've heard it in God knows how many different segments over the years, but we are going to get you to tell it one night, and from the beginning right through to the end. But all I can say is the one lesson that I got from hearing it over all these years in parts and whatever it is, simple: lose the fear, because nobody has got authority over you unless you give it to them, providing you may remain in honor. Just remain in honor and you'll never have a problem, because nobody can get anything on you, and they can all just fucking sail off and fuck off.
Well, you see, that was the first time. I mean, this is back in 2004 when I got arrested. But that was the first time that I realised that you had some sort of power, because when they arrested me and they took me into police station, and I'm in front of desk sergeant, and desk sergeant says to me, "You've been arrested on suspicion of theft of the computer and conspiracy to blackmail. Do you understand?" Do you understand? And I said, no. And he went, no, well, and he said it again. Theft of a computer and conspiracy to blackmail. Do you understand? I said, no. And I kept saying, no, I don't understand. No, I don't understand. Now, I was saying, no, I don't understand, because there was no reason for me to be, I've not blackmailed anybody. So that's why I didn't understand. That's what I was saying anyway. But when I look back, because I said I didn't understand, they wouldn't put me in a cell. They kept saying, right, when I said I don't understand, they couldn't do anything, couldn't search me or do fuck all. They just put me in an holding cell for 15
because you weren't standing under.
Exactly. And they get me out again and then said, do you understand? I said, no, I don't. I do not understand. And then fucking gone. And I think I did it about 3 or 4 times. And bear in mind, listen, I didn't know that I was talking about standing under their authority. I was just like being a cunt, really. I was just being a twat. I was just like saying, no, I don't understand you. I've not blackmailed anybody. Why would I understand? And so, anyway, it got to a point where they were negotiating with me, and I said, listen, get me a Quran. And they went, all right. And they fucked off, and they were running around fucking police station trying to find a Quran. I said, get me a Quran, and I'll tell you I understand. But, you know, I didn't know that I was telling him that I understand, and that probably if I'd have carried on, I could have just walked away. But I did, it was weird. But they got me a Quran, and then I went before them, and they said, "Do you understand?" And I went, "Yeah." They put me in a cell.
Yeah.
Then they interviewed me, all that. But I didn't realise at that time that because all I was doing I was just being belligerent. I was just being belligerent, and I was just saying, no, I don't understand. No, I don't understand. And I didn't realise the consequences. If I'd have carried on saying that there'd be nothing they could do.
Well, I can't say who it is, but there was one who actually ended up in prison for 3 days, and every time they asked him, do you understand, he kept saying no. And every time they asked his name, he said, well, you brought me here. And that literally was the end of it. After 3 days, they just took him back out of prison and fucked him off. Because without you say, yes, I understand, and yes, this is my name, because that's what they need in a contract. Now, I'm not advocating that you go beat somebody up, murder somebody, and commit a common law offense against somebody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should go do wrong by somebody. What I'm saying
don't advocate that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I've not done anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So if anybody's listening to this thinking, oh, this is how I can get out of... That's not why we do this. We do this because it is wrong that an authority figure, be it whoever, takes advantage of whoever, not me, not Jason, but whoever, because they class themselves as being in authority. That's why we do this, because that in itself is fundamentally wrong. It's all about not paying what you're not liable to pay and not being responsible for what you're not responsible for. But equally, if somebody says you are responsible, just say, well, prove it. Prove it. Just show me that I'm responsible and I'll talk to you. But if you can't, fuck off. So when Jason's saying, no, I don't understand, no, I don't stand under, he's absolutely right. But like at the time, you didn't realize, did you? You didn't know. You didn't know. You did not know.
No. I just thought I was being belligerent and that I would just say no. And they were just going, right, sticking back in cell, holding cell, putting me in 15 minutes, then coming in again. You come dragging me out again, same thing. And I'm going, no. I didn't know. If I'd have known, I'd still be there now, probably.
The point is that lose the fear. These are only men and women in fancy dress who claim to have some kind of authority because from a young age you were told that teachers tell you when to piss because you can only go in the 20 minutes.
It's also in the language as well. Well, you've got to understand the language, because the language that they'll use is that they're an enforcement officer. And an officer suggests that there's some official, because, well, office, official.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
but it don't really mean fuck all, does it? It means, you know, I could call myself a fucking this house officer. It don't make me, you know, it don't make me an official of anything. And people
No.
put a fucking, they show you a piece of fucking plastic with a photograph on it, and oh well, there you go. That's it. I've got to acquiesce to this person. You don't need to. Just not only question who they are, but question their authority as well. Say, well, what's your authority? Who gives you the authority to come to my house? And they'll go, oh well, it's section so and so under so and so. Okay, show it me. Show it me. You need to show it me before you or either that or the easier way, shut the fucking door.
Yeah. Because it's a statute and an act, and it needs you to understand it, to stand under it. So just don't. Just don't. You know? If something's complicated, it's for somebody else's benefit. If something's simple, then it's probably true. But it's just simple. Got to be simple. Because men are simple. Men are simple. Women are quite correct. We are simple things. Simple. Death, harm, loss, breach of the peace. That's common law. Everything else is a contract and is all about money. That's it. Dead simple. Simple, simple, simple. So anyway, look, with all these local elections that are just fucking theatre, you know, it might as well be fucking Christmas pantomime season. All I can say is I swear by almighty aid that my first neighbour who puts up a Labour, Conservative, Green Party or any other fucking fictitious fucking organisation poster in their window, I'm going to fly my anarchy flag. Just because it's all bollocks. All this political shit is just bollocks. It's just fucking fantasy. It's just put on the telly so that you think that there's something to worry about. You've got nothing to worry about because you know tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and you're going to be just fine.
And you're probably going to have a stiffy as well.
Do you know I'm going to wake up in the morning with wood?
There you go.
With wood.
And that's what we should be doing, isn't it? It should be a campaign. Wake up with wood.
There you go.
You know, with a campaign for the for the reintroduction of wet dreams.
I am going to wake up in the morning with wood.
There you go. It's like it's almost like he hasn't even got his eider down on.
Listen, listen. Jack Nicholson had got a give a fuck-o-meter, and it was always at 0. Now, I'm not saying that you don't care about anybody, because you do. You know, I care more about the guy down the road that I've not even met yet than somebody in a uniform who's trying to prove that I owe him some money. The man down the road that I've not even met yet, I would fucking just do anything to protect him. And that's how we've all got to be. Stand together, stand firm.
And that's how glory holes work.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, you know, if it's official, fuck it off. Because it's not official, because it's a contract and it's about getting you to part with your money. Ooh, and you've got to be scared. You ain't got to be scared of anything. The only thing you've got to be scared of is not having enough of this to go around.
Oh, fucking hell, you spilt a bit then, man.
Only a bit.
I know, but a bit's a bit, isn't it? You need to lick it up. Can we see you lick it up?
You know.
Let's have a look in chat room, see who's in there, who's saying it's a hand shandy party in there. What's your question, Chris? I don't know what that means. That's from Ibanez Roadstar. You've got to bear with me because, you know, like I've had a couple of drinks and what have you. Uni Black Sisters. Well, oh, listen, I had I had a listener in the house today. Came round to the house. Remember on Tuesday I advertised my phone for sale.
Oh yeah.
Yes, well, a listener came round today to purchase it on behalf of another listener. So it was nice to meet you, Amanda Jane. It was a real pleasure to meet you. And
So what you're trying to say is that you've abused your position by using this platform to flog some fucking dodgy electronic shit.
Well, it's not, is it? It's an iPhone, mate. It's a proper iPhone and that. It's all sorted.
Dodgy electronic shit.
Oh, shut up, fucking hell. As if you know old.
Listen, mine's some kind of fucking brick.
Michael Gove. What's that? What are you showing us there, Ada?
No, I'm just texting my brother.
Oh, are you? Okay. Adie just texted his brother. It's Raconteurs After Dark. It's Friday night. There's no real structure to it. We'll have a proper structured show with a guest on Monday with myself and Aid. And on Tuesday, we're going to have Max Egan joining us, but we're going to be from 9 o'clock rather than from 7 o'clock. So it's going to be from 9 till 11 o'clock on Tuesday evening. So join us for that as well. Webby, I noticed somebody asking where Webby was. Webby's got his missus, I think, for the weekend. He says he'll be in touch over the weekend. So Webby's just busy tonight. He's got other fish to fry, shall we say? But he'll be back very, very soon. Listen, I think we're about ready to wrap up. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, it's so easy at the minute to turn the telly on and be fucking scared of this and scared of that and scared of the other. Just ask yourself, what the fuck is to be scared of? Because, tomorrow morning when you wake up, there'll still be butter on the shelf in the local shop round the corner. Mr. Singh will not allow the shelves to be empty. There will still be bread and there will still be rice pudding, Coca-Cola and any other shit that you want to buy. All this bollocks on the telly does not really affect you because it's not real. It just isn't real. It's just fantasy.
And I completely agree with you. Listen, what I want to do tonight is I want to. This is. Oh God! What should we do? I've gone onto this website, BBC News Pigeon, and I always like to go on it. I always like to go on this and like to read it because it makes me happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this. I'm going to screen share this so that you know that I'm not making this shit up. Let me just find.
Is that a sex noise?
I'm trying to find a story that I can understand.
That's it. That's fucked my brain up. Listen, school. I want to talk about school.
Well, wait. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. This is a proper thing. I'm gonna share screen. I'm gonna share my screen. Application. I'm gonna share that one. Share. Right, so people can see that, right? Man United versus Barcelona. Wetting Ashley Young do way Man U fans day bad moutham.
What fucking language is that shit?
This is a BBC site. It's BBC News Pigeon, right? So it's Pigeon English.
Right.
Okay, Luke Shaw own goal. Na im hand Barcelona the advantage before the second leg next week for Camp Nou. Man United Dave Vex say young way captain them on Wednesday night. No fit even cross ball self. See, I don't even get this. We're paying for this. This is your license fee, right? Your license fee is fucking paying for this, right? So that some cunt, right? That I don't think there's anybody that really can understand this because I just don't get it. According to some fans, the 33-year-old lose the ball 32 times and out of 11 crosses, way him attempt none of them reach any Man United player. See, this is just, and this is, you know, we can, we'll go back and we'll go on to another one. Right, here we go. What's this one? Sudan military. Sudan coup. Military say them no get plan to hold on to power. The head of Sudan Temporary Military Political Council say army no get ambition to control power. Say them ready to step down in 1 month. Sef if the country fit form government. See, this is being paid for by you know,
by dickheads who were stupid enough to pay a fucking telly license.
your license fee. That's your license fee, right? Look, I'm not taking. This is not racist. It's well, I couldn't give a fuck if you think I'm fucking racist anyway, because I are. But you know, this is not fucking. This is what your license fee is paying for.
I have to say something.
Go on.
I have to say something. I don't care whether you're black or white or yellow or green or pink or blue. I don't care whether you're LGBTGFXW or XYZ. But if your name is Brian, hello. And if your name's Sue, hello. Because it doesn't really matter. You just, whoever you are, it don't matter. Stop labeling, because it don't matter. It don't matter.
No, label. Look, you've got to label. You've got to label, right? In order for you to keep your sanity, you need to label. You need to see somebody and say, "Well, that's a woman, so I'm going to treat her in the way that I would treat a woman." And that's a man. I'm going to treat her in that person in the way that I would treat a man. And don't tell me that you treat people differently. The same, because you don't. A man, you're more likely to get a confrontational fucking interaction with than a woman. So you'd be more gentle with a woman. You'd be more not fucking gentle, but you know, you'd be more nice with a woman.
And, yeah, and like, listen, I know exactly what you're saying, but then you meet my daughter Jess, and you would treat her as one of the boys. So
yeah, but you'd still no. But listen, I know you might treat her as one of the boys, but she's still a woman, and you'd still treat her in that. You wouldn't go as far as you would with the boys as you would with Jess. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I kind of get
Go
that.
as far with Jess as you would with the boys. You'd realise that there's boundaries there, and that's fucking perfectly okay.
I think what I'm trying to say is, if you are a nice kind of person who does things for the right reason, and you might get things wrong now and again, and who am I to judge whether it is right or wrong? But if you're a cunt, you're a cunt. And it doesn't matter whether you're A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, M, G, B, T. Don't matter. Does not matter. It
No,
just
of course
doesn't.
not. Of course not. I mean, but we shouldn't really need to make that point, shouldn't we? We shouldn't need to have to go again. You know, this thing where
It's just
you've got to have a fucking rainbow on everything. And
oh, I know, yeah. It's just a way of
Jesus Christ,
divide and conquer.
for fuck's sake, why the fuck? Look, I don't care. You know, if people want to sleep with people at same sex, I don't care. It's not my business. It's done. They do what they want. I don't need a fucking rainbow. I don't need to see it. I don't need a rainbow. I don't need to fucking see it, and I don't need to know. You know, it's your business.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. All I've got to say is, up above the streets and houses, rainbow flying high.
Yeah. And Jeffrey, one of the fucking victims of this last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, brother, are you packing up?
I think we should. I think we've done enough, haven't we? We're back on Monday night. We'll have a guest on Monday night. I promise you, we'll have a guest. Even though I'm having so much trouble on social media, I am getting nothing, and it's an absolute miracle that I've been able to book Max Egan because Max wasn't getting my messages, and it was only until Paul Webby made a group message chat thing that I was able to converse with him and get him booked for Tuesday night. So I am really, really struggling.
Where is Max at the minute? Is Max back in Oz, or is he still in Peru?
He's in Oz.
He's in Oz, right? Okay, cool.
So it'll be 9 o'clock on Tuesday. It'll be 7 o'clock on Monday. And we'll probably have more to say then, because we won't have consumed lots of vodka and bourbon. But it's good night from me, and it's good night from him.
It is. Love you.
See you Monday.
Love you.